So using cell phone buttons is fun and easy. So let's see, we have a few buttons here we can use. Back button, menu button, volume down and volume up buttons. Let's see how to use this. Now first thing we should do, we should always use the on device ready event listener to ensure that the buttons are ready to be used, to ensure that we don't get any errors. So let's again go to our skeletal Cordova project. Let's paste in those stuff. Let's neaten it up. Alright, so as the documentation says here, all Cordova button events and plugins are ready only after the device ready event, this event here, has fired. So when this event fires, it will call this function, which is here. So we'll add all our event listeners in this function to ensure that we only add them when they are loaded or ready. So let's go back to the website. So we did this add event listener. No, all the buttons are essentially the same. So this is just a general JavaScript event listener we're adding in here. Paste that in here. We don't need a function defined in that function. Let's put it outside. So this function, so this will do what it says, handle the back button. So when the back button is pressed, it will do whatever is you put in this function. So we added this event listener, this is the same thing here. This is an event listener listening for device ready. This is another event listener listening for the back button when it's pressed, and we have it set up in this function because we only listen for this event, and when it's ready, the device is ready, then we want to set up this event listener. Good. So let's see, maybe we want to change the background color, so maybe we could see. So let's use JavaScript to edit the CSS. So let's add maybe a heading element. Yes. Hello there. So we're going to use the CSS JavaScript to edit that. So let's give this an ID as well. Head. Okay, so that's my heading there. Right, so then we could have maybe a variable to keep track of that element. Var h heading equals document dot get element by ID or favorite method head dot. Right, so that will be it. And we want to have a variable to keep track of. So let's say var x move x equals maybe 0 for now. Now we're gonna do heading dot style dot. So let's reference my website for this one. So on the CSS part, we have a few things we can do. We can rotate, we can translate. So I'm going to do a simple 2D translation along the x-axis. So let's click that to see how that works. So we see when I click that, how that moves. So I want it to move when I click the back button. And this is the CSS here. Now we can style any CSS with JavaScript by just using style. So this could be background color capitalized, but I'm going to use transform equals, and if we go back here, we see we can translate assign it a value. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have the string translate, and this is string concatenation, plus our move x plus our closing bracket so that will then look like this. So we have a string, so it's translate x, and our value, oh but we forgot to put pixels, so it has to be px, we're going to use pixels, and it's translate x. Good. And that should be it. Also, what we want to do, we want to have move x is assigned move x plus, maybe we go up in 10 pixels, maybe, plus 10. So every time we increment. And we should be ready. Let's see how that works. Save that. Cordova, emulate Android. So our app has launched, and let's press the back button. So every time I press it, notice how it moves across the screen. And notice also that now the back button doesn't exit our app, it overrides the default behavior of our app. So you might want to be careful how you do the buttons so you don't confuse your user, but that's cool. You can use that maybe to do games and stuff like that. And yes.